I have been associated, like Neera said, for for about 7 years with Dasra, and it's a real privilege to see Dasra come so far and so long, such a long way. I apologize. I do have notes, and that's my comments on the podium. But a very warm welcome to all of you. And like Neera said, we do expect a full house. We definitely had two very full houses the last 2 days, on day one and day two, overflowing, and we expect the same to happen. This today, however, after day one, which was focused on corporates, and day two on foundations and impact investing, this today is definitely the signature event that is a traditional Dasra event. And so welcome. Just a little bit on my observations on day one with the corporates. I mean, this is pretty unique, and the reason Dasra had a corporate day was because something has changed here in India. We have a CSR Act. It's unique in the world. It has been brought into law, and it's very unique. The Corporate Social Responsibility Act of Corporate Law of 2013. We had some great success stories on day one, day before yesterday. Lots of discussion, some deeply moving anecdotes, and as you would expect at the Dasra event, a lot of analytics and a lot of data interspersed. More than 80 corporates attended. And this law, we believe, could be path-breaking for India. It covers 16,000 companies that are eligible. 20,000 crores of rupees is intended to enter the social sector through this attempt. And of course, the ability to harness so many hundreds of thousands of volunteers from these corporates. Somebody put a number on day one that amounted to about $10 billion. Day two was also heavily attended, foundations and social impact investing. And really, one of the highlights for me was the 15 finalists for the first Dasra Girl Power Awards. These are grounds-up social enterprises from across India, founded by people with so much passion, so much power, so much selflessness, but such great returns through such great success. Very sadly, winners had to be chosen. So very sadly, there were three winners, but very difficult to choose between those 15 finalists. But today, it's about philanthropists, what Dasra is about, what helps Dasra hold it all together, and therefore our signature event. At last year's IPF, we talked about how Dasra had grown, and I have to say this because it's very difficult for Deval and Neera to say, but it's grown tremendously, astonishingly fast. And last year, we talked about what a great number of foundations and organizations in India and abroad had put their faith in Dasra. That astonishing growth has continued even at an accelerated pace this year. It's been a year of extraordinary accomplishments for Dasra. But far more important, a year of great impact in areas that Dasra really cares about. And I think later this afternoon we'll hear more from Deval about this impact. So as many of you know, Dasra was founded by the dynamic duo more than 15 years ago, Deval and Neera. And it's a unique model. And I think many of you, I hope, are pretty familiar with this model. Over the years, they have fine-tuned their modus operandi. They identify and focus on impacting gaps out here in the social sector in India, where both social organizations and the government of India have either not been effective or these areas are too tough to tackle. And there are so many gaps, as we all know. So for example, sex trafficking, one such gap, a tough area to tackle, is an area where Dasra, over the last year, has made great efforts to plug the gap. Research, data mining, and knowledge is a starting point of what Dasra does, of how Dasra decides to tackle a subject, an issue. And then Dasra is committed and stays with it for many years. with the aim of finally building an ecosystem. And we learn a little bit about what DASRA means about an ecosystem in the social sector. The decision framework is based on defining and understanding the issue. Is it central to India's socioeconomic needs? Is it a root cause? If we tackle this cause, will there be a multiplier? Can we establish evidence of impact? Can we establish ideal interventions for the stakeholders? And very importantly, for this group, what's the funding landscape, and can we create more demand from philanthropists and foundations and corporations? And are there linkages with other areas that DASRA operates in, so there's synergy and there's a real multiplier? DASRA then seeks to make an impact by being at the intersection. At the intersection to provide a multiplier. Identify social organizations on the ground, create a dialogue, incorporate different stakeholders, channel funds, and really, we don't really care if the funds come directly to the organizations we've identified, because we believe they're the right organizations that funds should go to in that sector, or if they come via DASRA, where you get the added benefit of DASRA being accountable, measuring the impact, and being accountable to the funders. Outcome is really all that matters. It also involves years of incubation, years of consultation, years of training. We measure impact, we measure accountability, and finally, sustainability, and that drives the exit. For more than a year, a key focus at DASRA has been adolescent girls. Through today, you will hear the mind-boggling scale of the issue. The economic costs are huge, so DASRA wants to do something about it. By 2018, DASRA will have built an ecosystem for adolescent girls that delivers impact at scale. Remember, impact at scale is a key driving force for DASRA. We want to empower 1 million adolescent girls, mothers and children. Yes, a lot of these adolescent girls are mothers here. And in so doing, empower them and free them. But also, what that does is make whole families, we hope, part of India's productive economy and the world's productive economy. And yet, given the scale here is 113 million adolescent girls, that's the problem. The scale is massive. Our target by 2018 is impact 1 million of them. Probably still is a drop in the bucket. Probably not a drop, a little bit more, but a relatively small impact in such a huge problem. So what would DASRA have done by 2018 in adolescent girls? We would have written 21 research reports, and you know how deep and analytical they are. Research reports and white papers, delivered 150 high-impact interventions on the ground, at the ground level organizations, channeled $30 million to the sector, and we expect to do more than that by mobilizing a diverse base of 200 funders, and I hope that includes many of you, collaborated and brought in 750 stakeholders, engaged with the government, and would have mainstreamed the issue into our national consciousness. That's our target, and that's very precise baseline that we want to get to. I'd like to bring us back to the present. It's been a busy year. DASRA has grown tremendously, and it's been an extraordinarily busy year for DASRA. Over the last year, DASRA has managed over $13 million in funding, published 6 research reports, analyzed 770 social organizations, NGOs, on the ground. We've trained 200 social entrepreneurs, 9 workshops, 550 days of portfolio support, 100,000 hours of channeling volunteers, 100 thought pieces, partnered with Harvard Business School to co-create and deliver a social impact curriculum with case studies, with a DASRA case study, and forged new relationships with a lot of corporates, a lot of foundations, amongst them, I'm sure I'm missing a bunch, ICICI Foundation, Haloran Philanthropies, Comic Relief, DSP BlackRock, Vodafone Foundation, Johnson & Johnson here in India. So folks, the big group of underprivileged, the underclass in India is massive and it needs help. Dasra is delivering, and Dasra needs your help to take it to the next level. Too high a percentage of our funding in the last year has come from foundations and corporates, not from individual high net worth philanthropists. And too high a percentage has come from abroad, not enough from individual philanthropists in India. We need help in India. We need your help in forming giving circles. And when you do so, when you do form a giving circle, when you do bring it together for us, you can hold Dasra fully accountable. We will take responsibility to deliver your aspirations of what you want us, on how you want to impact your money. And we've done so very well for many, many years. We've got a great track record. And you can choose your level of engagement of the social organizations that you choose. So please have a fantastic day ahead, and we look forward to your spending the day with us. Many thanks.